Hello, art students. Malaika here. We are going to be working on a painting together called Parachute Seeds Dispersing in the Air, inspired by the common dandelion seed. You will be given a foam brush, a medium-sized flat or tilted brush, and a fine-tipped brush for detail. You have also been provided with a canvas and a few tubes of acrylic paint. It's a great idea to protect your workstation with either newsprint or a drop cloth, and perhaps consider wearing clothes that you don't mind getting paint on. You will need to provide for yourself a jar of water, a palette, which can be as simple as a piece of cardboard, a scratch piece of paper, a ruler, a rag for cleaning your brushes, and a pencil for sketching ideas. Presenting the color wheel! Dun, da, da, da. You can see on the opposite side of the color wheel is the complementary color. Red and green, orange and blue, yellow and violet. These are your three primary colors: red, yellow, and blue. If you only have these three primary colors, you can still make other colors. For instance, red and yellow, orange, yellow, and blue, make green, red, and blue make purple. And all of them together can make brown. Now that you know how to make brown, you can imagine it would be a great idea to clean your brush between changing colors in order to avoid a muddy or brown painting, unless that's of course what you want. Simply dip the brush in water and then wipe it off with your handy dandy rag. Take a moment to consider if you want a horizontal or a vertical painting. It is completely fine to change your mind after this step. Keep in mind, if you are leaning your painting up, you will be creating drips. It is completely fine to lay it flat on a table. So take your foam brush and you dip it in your first color. We're going to start with an expressive background. So you dip it in here and you can actually squeeze it out, and then we're just going to go crazy. I want you to be bold. Choose any kind of background that you want. See what happens if you're up and down. You can lay it down on a table if you want. I took my second color and I'm going to mix it in. And then you might have different colors. Just do what you feel. See how nicely they mix together and make it look interesting. This is also a good time to paint your edges. So like this. Okay? You paint all the way around the edges. One of your background colors. And then you can leave some white. You can fill the whole canvas. We're just doing a crazy and creative background. Do your own thing. Now say you don't like something. You could take your rag, you dip it in the water, and you can erase entire sections. So that's up to you what you want to do. You have all been given different colors to paint with, and that's okay. Sometimes limitations can lead to very interesting creative discoveries. We will now put our paintings aside to dry while we sketch out compositions and ideas for our final painting. So take your scratch piece of paper and fold it into 4. Now we will sketch our ideas for our final painting. You can imagine that each quadrant is your final painting and draw a different composition in each one. You can always combine your ideas in your final painting, but allow this time to loosen up. Explore scale. Do you want your dandelion seeds to be large or small? How many dandelion seeds do you want to have? Do you want a few? Do you want many? Do you want the flower itself to appear in the painting? I'm rushing in this video, but in our class, you'll have approximately 10 minutes to sketch out your ideas. It's always a great idea to sketch before painting, and that way you can use it as a reference drawing for your final piece. It makes it easier for you to imagine the separate quadrants as separate paintings. You can always draw a line to separate them. So choose which sketch you like the best. I think I'll go with this one. And that's going to be the outline for your composition. So now we begin our underpainting. You're going to be drawing with paint. We start by dipping our brush in the white and then pulling out our ruler to paint the pappus or long part of the dandelion seed. Or you can go freehand if you're feeling confident. So I want one going that way. You could feel free to copy me or to do your own thing. Now we're going to paint the seed heads like an almond shape. It is a fantastic idea to look at a photograph of a dandelion seed or to look at an actual dandelion and its seeds. Observation is key when it comes to painting. Before we paint the parachute seed hairs, we're going to practice. So take a scratch piece of paper or a piece of cardboard and pick up your fine tip brush, and with a flick of the wrist, just do the lightest stroke you can. Now try it with the medium-sized brush. Do the same flick of the wrist. Notice the difference in the stroke size and pick which one you like the best. So you take your white with your fine tip, and then you want to replicate this. So you're looking back and forth. We do our flicks onto our canvas. Be sure to dip the paintbrush in the water if it's getting those dry spots. You can get more fluid. See what happens when I went slow? Better to go flick. And then I've decided to use a different sketch and combine the sketches that I liked. So I'm combining this one and this one. And I'm going to use my fatter brush and I'm going to flick on the bottom. And this is the top of the flower, so we're going to do a lot of little flicks. Picking that up. Just keep adding those details. What do we do if we don't like something? You can always erase. Remember to keep that wrist flicking. Oh, that's a pretty nice brown. See that? We're going to add detail into the seed head of the parachute seed. So take a look at a photograph of the parachute seed and do your best adding detail. You can do this too. This painting is about layers. See where I'm getting this little drip here? And then we want a little more white here because it's very light. And maybe we blend in that pod. You know, have fun with putting detail into your painting. Most painters believe in taking a step back to look at their paintings from afar. Is there anything else your painting needs? Is it already finished? Don't do too much. But if there are any mistakes, now is the time to come in and fix them with another layer. I didn't like this line so much. I felt like I messed up. So I'm coming in with my blue or purple paint, which is my background color, and I am cutting the line, so to speak, to clean it up. So don't be afraid to mess up in painting, because anything you do that you think is a mistake, you can literally just paint over later and make it the way that you want it to be. It's always a good idea to blend into the background as well. And then blend it into the background. And just clean it up. there you have it. You can always come back to your painting and add more into it later if you so choose. I so look forward to our class together. See you all soon!